Hey guys, Bradfield here. Today we're going to go over some specific things dealing with polynomial expressions. So go ahead and copy down what you see, okay? And go ahead and pause it and copy it down, and I'll be with you in a second. Alright, so here we are, polynomial expressions. What we're going to do is start with a polynomial in standard form. Now, this right here is my polynomial in standard form. And here's why it's in standard form. We look at the exponents. Notice this exponent here is 5. This exponent here is 3. This exponent here, you don't see it. It's actually a 1. If there's nothing written there, it's a 1. And this guy, believe it or not, there's actually an x here. You don't see it. It's x to the power of 0. Okay? X to the power of 0. Even though you don't see it, this is really a 1 right here. And this is really an x to the power of 0. Kind of funny, right? Okay, but you don't need to write that. You just kind of need to be aware that it's there. Okay? All right, so now, it's in standard form because if you look at the exponents, it goes 5, 3, 1, 0. It is in descending order. It goes from the biggest power, or the biggest exponent, down in order to the next biggest, down to the next biggest, down to finally nothing there at all. Okay, so these are the things that you need to know. If we are going to talk about things like leading coefficient, degree, constant, and type, we need to start off with our polynomial in standard form. So that guy right there is standard form. The degree starts the highest, then the next highest, then the next highest, all the way down to nothing. All right, so here we go. This is the exact same thing. I want to point out that this guy, this 15, is the leading coefficient. Okay? This 15 right here is the leading coefficient, so I circled that so you can see. This 5 right here, that's the power, that's the highest power, and it's always going to be first if you put it in standard form. This guy right here is the degree of the polynomial. Okay? This last number right here, the one that, believe it or not, is attached to an x to the power of 0, you don't see it, it's just a 9. That guy is going to be our constant term. Okay? And the type refers to what type of polynomial this is. Well, let's count the terms. 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So what do we call this polynomial? Is it a monomial? Is it one term? Is it a binomial? How about a trinomial? No, it has 4 terms, so we refer to that as a polynomial. Okay? All right, so I've got some easy ones for you. Okay, the first one, go ahead and copy this guy down. 5x squared plus 3x minus 1. Okay. All right, it is already in standard form. It's already in standard form, so because it's in standard form, it's going to be really easy. The degree, well, if you look here, degree is this power right there, the biggest power. So in this case, the degree is 2. All right. The type, well, remember we have to count how many terms there are. There's 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. So since there are 3 terms, it is a trinomial. The leading coefficient, well, if you forgot what that is, you look up here. The leading coefficient, I circled it. It's the first number that we have right there. That's the leading coefficient. So in this case, the very first number we have is a 5. So I'll put down 5. And finally, our constant term, the constant, remember we point to the very last guy right there, the one that's attached to the x to the power of 0. Okay, the constant term in this case is, now I know some of you guys are thinking it's 1, but it's actually negative 1. Okay, whatever sign is in front of it, that goes with the number. So my constant term is negative 1. All right, see if you guys can do this next one. All right, go ahead and pause it. See if you can do the next one. All right, here we go. The degree is 17. The type, 1, 2 terms. It's a binomial. The leading coefficient, it starts off with 25. And the constant is negative 4. Not 4, it's negative 4. They go together, negative 4. Okay. All right, let's try one more example. See if you guys can put this guy together, okay? How about I give you something like this? 3x squared minus 18x to the 5th plus 2 minus 12x. Okay? Can you tell me what is the degree? What is the type? What is the leading coefficient? And what is the constant? All right, here we go. Now, if some of you guys said for the degree, if some of you said 2, I could see why you would say 2, because that's the first power that you see. But remember, we have to start with a polynomial in standard form. Remember standard form? This is not in standard form, okay? We need to first write it in standard form. So, look for the highest exponent. It's right here. This guy right here. So we start off with negative 18x to the 5th. So negative 18x to the 5th. Then we look for the next highest exponent. That's this guy, this squared. So it's going to be a positive 3x squared. So plus 3x squared. Then we look for the next highest. Well, that doesn't have an x. This does. So it's minus 12x. Minus 12x. And then finally we have the plus 2. And now you can see that the degree is 5. The type is 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. That's polynomial. The leading coefficient is negative 18. And the constant term is 2. All right. Okie dokie. All right, we are done for today. So hope that helps, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.